thing, and some guys were saying that they were using ReadyChat and liked it better than Dovetail.
And this is the thing that pops up, correct?
This
this
follows.
I use, I'm pretty sure it's called ReadyChat.
So what it is it's a human. So when the lead comes in, they have
website.
They have access to respond to your leads. So they've got professionally trained people that are typing emails and responding within that 3-minute window, and or following up with a phone call on your behalf.
Mine is on my website. So when it goes to my website, the live chat thing will pop up. This is Susie. You know, how can we help you today? There's a live person there. Either somebody talks like Ryan does and messes with them.
Yeah, why not?
But he always says
They
it's
keep track
Ryan.
of it and then email it.
Well, you had told me.
I know.
So just to test it out. What I wanted to know is I did this. I used to have Monkey Lead, and I got one of those things. I went out and got a free version of it. The problem with that was it would only pop up on your home screen. I think I asked you, and you said you weren't sure. Does it follow them on every screen?
Yep.
Because with Market Leader, you could only have it in the.
People get off your home screen.
They go to the home screen, they're gone because they go to the home screen and they're ready to search it. So their average time on the home screen was 12 seconds. Well, you couldn't get to it quick enough for them to do that. So that's why I was curious if it followed them through the site.
Well, these two are humans.
They're actually.
Yeah, that's what
This
ReadyChat is.
Well, no, it was a human. I did it so that I could be the person. Like I got my own software for it, installed it,
I see,
and
I'm
so
sorry.
like a siren would go off. That's the.
Yeah, so this is
That's
like
the
a warehouse
sound
of
that I
people
chose,
sitting
but
there.
I'd be sitting there, the siren would go off, and I'd get all excited, pop up. Before I could even be done typing it enter, they were off to a search page.
So it didn't. You didn't
So it was a human behind mine too. It was just,
Yeah.
it was
It's
me.
just a slower human.
Right.
These are fast humans.
Right. Now I'm thinking a typer.
These are the fast kind of humans.
Right.
All right. So Scott, why don't you share a little bit of the follow up on the email, and then we'll go down and let everybody share kind of the email follow up that you guys do when people, because most of the requests come in via email. And just to give you a little background, when Scott and I sat down and talked originally, he said, we get leads and they say, I'd like more information about this property. I said, okay, great, I think that's pretty common. So my next question was, what do you do? What do you say? And the response at that time was, wonderful, let me know what you'd like and I'd be more than happy to get it to you. And I guess that probably a large number of agents do that, if not 90+%. So what we said is, well, let's kind of reinvent what that response looks like, and let's figure out how we can make that response more engaging and more fulfilling without creating a ton of work for Scott, that he became paralyzed and was sitting at a computer the minute he got a lead, and he couldn't do anything but sit there. So I'll let you go from there.
So what we came up with is that we need to provide more information that they can get if they search hard enough, but it'll be tough for them to find. So we came up with the idea of contacting some vendors we work with, a lender, title company, insurance person. And so the first email, which I have saved in the notes in my phone, so if I get a text message or an email with a lead, I can send the first email,
Cut and paste it from his phone.
cut and paste, and I can have it gone in 10 seconds, which sometimes I usually wait a little bit longer than that because it's pretty long. I don't want them to think I typed it instead of copied and pasted it. So I usually wait maybe 2 minutes, and get it.
But never past 3.
That's right. So the first email says, thank you for your inquiry about the property address. If you've got specific questions about the property or would like a private tour, please let me know. In the meantime, over the next 24 to 48 business hours, myself and my partners will provide you with the following information about the property. A history of the property status regarding past sale prices and dates, current county tax report, a quick comparative market analysis that will show you what similar homes in the area have sold for in the last 6 months, any covenants, conditions, and restrictions that may apply to the home in the neighborhood in which it is located, a quote for homeowners insurance that may or may not give us an indication as to if the property has had any major insurance claims or losses on the property, which may give us an indication if there have been any major damages. The home from wind, fire, water, etc. We'll also provide an idea of what loan programs may be available for this home, and the current interest rates that may be associated with such programs in the event you'll be obtaining a mortgage. I look forward to hearing from you. We will be providing this information promptly. So that goes out, ASAP, and then when I get in front of my computer, go to the VLC, print the, or take the VLC sheet, property tax report, and the history, and save as a PDF, and then attach it to the next email, which reiterates what we're going to provide, and then copies the title company, the lender, the insurance guy. So they've got the property information, they've got the buyer's email address, and they know what they're to provide. And then the second email states that, again, I'm going to provide a quick CMA, comparative market analysis. So the second email copies everybody. Here's the information, PDF of the property, so you've got all the details. So then the title company attaches covenants, conditions, restrictions, and copies me, Mike, Ability Plus Insurance, and do a quick homeowner's quote and attach it. Lender will do, hey, based on FHA 3.5% down, this is what you're looking at for a payment. Based on good credit, just provide a bunch of that stuff. And then within the next 24 hours after that email, I put together a quick CMA. I don't put a lot of detail into it, just legal description, past 6 months. If it brings up 5 or 6, great, put it in a PDF and
Average it and
attach
go.
it. Because if I go through and try to drill it down to be so specific, then it's just going to take me that much longer. So I take that link to the quick CMA. And the third email says the link below will show you a quick CMA, which is a comparative market analysis of the property you were interested in and the address. When you get a chance, give me a call so we can go over this together and decide whether we want to go look at this home based on its current list price. Although this CMA will give us a rough idea of what homes in the area have sold for recently, we should visit the property and take a tour of it to get an idea of its current condition. This will play a big role in our evaluation and assist us in determining how the home is priced today. And basically let me know when you're available and we'll go take a look at it. So then after that, if they don't respond after those 3 emails, like I said, a couple days later, I'll just send them another one and, hey, just making sure you got all the information I've sent.
But what he's not doing is sending let me know what you'd like and I'll get it for you. And then tomorrow, did you get my email? What can I get you? It's not blank. And he also didn't create a ton of work for himself, if you think about it, because a lot of that is diverted out to people that he works with.
Yeah, in emails 2 and 3, I just open this Word doc on my computer and copy and paste it too, so it doesn't take me. What takes me the most time is going to the BLC and getting the information, for the specific property.
But he's also set the parameters within the next 48 hours. So he doesn't, it's not like when he sends it, he has to run to a computer now because otherwise he didn't live up to he set the expectations within the next 40 hours. So at night he goes home and maybe he has to do 3 CMAs that are all of 3 minutes apiece?
And sometimes the people will just reply to the lender when they send the email says, based on the purchase price, 3.5% down, this would be an estimated payment. Sometimes they'll reply to that lender and say, oh, what if I put, and ask them a question. Well, then the lender says, hey,
Well, how many emails are they getting then? I missed that.
Well, at least 3, and then if they don't.
But then Mike Morgan and
Mike's
the
sending
lender,
one, the lender and the
they're
title
sending
company.
separate emails.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they send them an email directly and then copy me.
Okay, gotcha.
So if they reply all, I'll see
Yeah,
what they're saying.
well, that's
But
kind of cool because you're really throwing a lot of information.
And one woman, what was you told me about this morning?
it's closing today at 4 o'clock. The lead came through. I sent her, I copied and pasted the first email, sent it to her, and she replied in 10 minutes and said, "What time should come to your office tomorrow and look at some houses, see what's available?" Yeah, absolutely. So set up an appointment. She came in the next day, and we're closing today at 4 o'clock.
Where was that?
Realtor.com.
So I know on Zillow, my experience has been, especially in this market, a lot of the homes are active backup or active that they're inquiring about or not even on the market. So what is your guys' systems on these lead sources that are
Well, let's let them go through and finish what they each do as far as
Okay.
email. Let's go all the way across, and then you guys can go into more questions. So what's a typical email like with you?
My emails are very short, sweet, to the point.
Okay.
I find if you give them too much information, as far as too long of an email, you've lost.
So what would you typically do?
Depending on what they're asking me for, so if it's just a blanketed, they're asking me for information.
More
Obviously,
information.
yeah, the address goes in the subject line, so they know, what I'm replying to. And a lot of times I may say, "Hey, I'm the preferred realtor for Zillow. I received a request for information on this property." Usually I've already looked at the property on the BLC. I know something about it, where I'm giving them some sort of information about that property, but not so much to where they don't need me or where they're not gonna contact me back.
Okay.
So that they don't know everything and they're just like, "See ya, I'm off to the next one."
Okay. What do you guys do?
Something else I learned too that actually my Trulia rep taught it to me is whenever you're responding to these leads, because they probably other agents are responding, always put in the subject line Trulia, Zillow, like where your place of contribution is coming from,
And
with the address. Yeah.
Gotcha. Good
Um,
idea.
I put info you requested.
Yeah.
But sometimes the people on the subject lines, before it'd be like, what should I put?
Yeah.
But if you put the address, like, oh, I was just looking at that. Like,
Yeah.
So are yours pre-written?
No, not
They
necessarily.
used to be.
Yeah.
When we were at Easy Street, we had a real simple, it was just a drip campaign, which to be honest with you, I don't know how you guys felt. Those drip campaigns pull out a few minutes here and there. I think she has a really good system. I typically don't email my people, I just give up. No, I'm kidding. So no, like we will follow up with emails and we attach some marketing material for ourselves, our stats, stuff like that. Kind of.
We
more
give them like nuggets, a
foolish
lot
if
of
you
little
don't use this
nuggets.
type of thing, but-
Yeah.
and it works.
You'd be crazy not to use me.
Yeah.
I don't say that, but I think by looking at marketing, they'll see it, and we get a lot of response from it because it's
Yeah.
very well laid out. It's very professional looking.
We had it professionally done. So we have a resume, we have a reviews page, we have a first-time buyers packet, we have a buyer's packet, we have a listing packet. And there's not more than like even the listing packet. It's just 9 pages, and it's what you can expect from us. So we're willing to lay it all out on the line. Like, here's what we're
Kind of
going
like
to
if
do
you
for
hired
you.
us, this is what you get type of things. Boom, boom, boom.
And nobody else is sending them anything like collateral-wise. So I feel like that's where we get a huge response from, is that there is a lot of information that we just trickle into them.
So it's interesting, you've got three entirely different perspectives. You've got one person that's giving all property centric. You've got one person who's giving very, very succinct, small amounts of information. And then another one who's giving all personal promotion or why we would be a good candidate for you to hire. And all three of them are having success. But
And that stuff that he's doing, they're doing,
Yeah, I
does
think
come
that
into
we do
play. Like we give them
Like
that
first
information.
email, second email, third email, like, you know, my second email is a resume email. Basically interview me type of thing. I know that she uses it too, the word interview, which people will stop and think, they really
And
will.
I
Will stop
always
and be like,
ask,
well,
how
maybe
can I work for
should.
you?
Yes.
Like, that's always, how can I work for you in your next real estate transaction?
so positioning the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to be creative. Like I always take pride in sometimes how I get my clients.
Yeah.
Like I emailed a lady at 4 o'clock in the morning once, and she had another agent. The last thing I said is a little cocky. I said, "But by the way, what do you think your Tucker agent's doing right now?"
He got that
She
client,
loved
and
it.
I don't know how.
She loved it.
What do
Because
you have
my
to look
point
at the
was,
50-50
your
shot?
Tucker agent's
Yes.
probably sleeping right now, and I gave her a bunch of information. I was determined to get her.
Yeah.
And I got her. So it's just little things like that. But then too, if you're talking to someone on the phone, pick up on what they're saying. Like the lady I sold like she was interested in things. So I went out and got her information about the malls, and you can drive. Her biggest thing was she had to be able to get to her son's place because she was elderly, and she had to be able to get to malls. So every location, every property, I said it's 17 miles from your son's house, 5 miles from the mall, and vice versa. I got her as well. So it's like you have to just be creative. It's not always just cut and dry. And I get it. There's a system.
Yeah, but well,
I
once,
get
once
that. I
they
get that.
contact you, though, that's when it becomes creative.
Absolutely.
To figure out what
Yeah.
they need, but this is to get them to contact you with if they don't have a phone number.
Right, and I agree
Yeah.
with Jen. I was gonna say,
You know,
but
it's
I
all-
probably
everything's
wouldn't send out.
about
That's
email.
like a lot. So I think
It's only because that's
only
how
X
we
amount
were
of people are
trained.
gonna read that. So
Sure.
most likely your clients are gonna have that are like engineers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna get the more detailed person.
Mhm.
Ryan brings up a good point too. I mean, when you're doing your follow-up phone calls and your emails, and it's scheduled for me. It's a part of my daily routine to follow up. So you have to be conscious of when that lead came in. If it came in at 10 p.m. at night, that probably means that that's when they're searching for things. You know, if you do 3 phone calls at 8 in the morning and you don't catch them at 8 in the morning, why are you going to call them a 4th time at 8 in the morning? You should be calling them throughout the day at different times, emailing them throughout the day at different times, always.
Jen and I,
Mine's scheduled at different times each
we
day.
would be the only 2 agents, literally at least 2 nights a week for years, that were still in the office at 8, 9 o'clock at night. This is, it was before you, because it was always the 2 of us when it was the dugout.
I don't know. Then I
And we would just,
us 3 amigos.
and we'd make fun with it, like, we'd laugh, and listen to each other's phone
Competition.
calls. Yeah.
Well, and that's how I
Friendly
learned
competition.
too. It's like these guys are like, okay, you get a lead. Don't call every day at 3 o'clock or.
Right.
We
So now I
always-
annotate. Okay, I called at 4 o'clock. I didn't get a hold of them the next day. I'll call them at 7.
So you're tracking the time so that you don't continue to
Absolutely.
do the same thing that
Right.
didn't work.
Exactly, and so many people work different schedules now. It's not a 9 to 5
And then,
world anymore.
a lot of agents have this. It's 50-50. Do you guys leave voicemail messages or not? Like I do not.